West Ham Network, it is Holly and I'm here with your Hammers headlines for today. That is Thursday, the 24th of August, run in association with KUMBI.com. We have got 8 days left of the transfer window and we are far from finished, but we do have some very positive updates about very exciting players. So without further ado, why don't we just jump straight into them? For your first story, last night, late news broke that the deal for Kudus is significantly closer, and Sky Sports News are now reporting that West Ham are hoping to complete the deal for the Ajax star by the end of this week. In The Athletic, David Ornstein said that West Ham have made an official offer that Ajax are expected to accept, which is believed to be £35 million plus £2.56 million in add-ons. Obviously, that's great news because, as we know, the almighty Tim Stuyton flew out to Amsterdam to discuss a deal for Kudus with Ajax. And while he left empty-handed and didn't come back physically with that player on the plane, it seems that the conversations have progressed things massively. So after 2 rejected offers, it said that the personal terms have now been agreed with the player. Interestingly, this was actually the stumbling block for Brighton because they had agreed the fee with the club, but Kudus decided that he wasn't actually happy to play there under those terms. So it's good that it sounds like we've got past that point. Now, if the reports are to be believed, we will be signing the 23-year-old attacking midfielder on a 5-year deal, and Kudus will actually become our 4th signing this summer, as well as joining his former Ajax teammate Edson Alvarez, I can't speak today, at the London Stadium. Now, we are seeing Tim Stuyton flying out to have discussions left, right and centre, and it's actually made me wonder how we've approached these kinds of situations in the past and what the differences must have been, because it does seem this is now having a big impact on our success rate of actually having negotiations with players and convincing them to come to the London Stadium. The question I have is, what were we doing before? Was it a phone call from Moyes or Sullivan that would previously take place? I have many questions, but either way, Stuyton seems to be playing a key role in the completion of deals, as well as finding us targets. And the relationship with him and the club, it seems to be working, which is music to everyone's ears. Here is hoping that we can conclude this deal in the coming days, because, as we think, this would be an incredible addition to West Ham. For your second story, and on the topic of Stuyton, he has also been speaking with Hugo Ekitike directly after having already held talks with his entourage and PSG sporting director, Louis Campos. According to Foot Mercado, this is not going well today. The French striker is now set to have talks with David Moyes to understand the plans that we've got for him should he join West Ham, which is very positive. And interestingly, the previous report said that Ekitike's team had been impressed with Stuyton's speech. So here is hoping the 21-year-old feels the same. We are in contention with other clubs for the young striker, including Everton, AC Milan and Eintracht Frankfurt, but it's definitely sounding positive so far. And with the quality of players that we are currently bringing into West Ham, I would like to think that we are becoming a very attractive prospect for players that want to further their careers, that want to play in Europe and want to prove a point. Most importantly, it doesn't appear that Ekitike is in any of the plans for the coming season for PSG boss Luis Enrique, so it's looking as though he could be there for the taking. Here's hoping we can get that deal agreed. Let us know in the comments what you think about whether or not we can get it over the line and whether you'd be happy with this one. And last but not least, Balogun is a player to watch as a potential striker option should the deal for En-Nesyri fall through. The 22-year-old is valued at around £50 million by Arsenal, so it's a hefty price tag, but it has been said that he is surplus to requirements, meaning the player is likely to be keen on a move so that he can actually prove himself elsewhere. Since arriving back from a loan spell, he has spent part of the summer away from first-team training, and he has also not been named in the matchday squad for either of Arsenal's games so far this season, suggesting there really isn't a place for him there. So hopefully that will tempt him away. In addition to this, Arsenal are looking to make sales of around £100 million in total in order to improve their financial fair play situation this week. So it would work in their best interest to move the player on to. meaning they might actually drop the price as deadline day looms closer if they've not agreed anything before then. Again, we are not the only team interested, with the likes of Chelsea and Spurs also said to have inquired. However, it is understood that Arsenal would inflate the asking price to sell to a direct Premier League rival. And while it's very rude of them, they don't see us as one of them, meaning we could actually get a bit of a bargain compared to those other sides. AC Milan and Inter Milan are also interested, but it is Monaco that is said to be in the most advanced talks currently. However, it does look as though there is still the opportunity to swoop in to interrupt these negotiations. David Moyes is said to be a huge fan of Balogun, and our clubs are in talk again about this deal, so it certainly could be one to watch towards the end of the week once we know the fate of the En-Nesyri deal. And the other good thing is, as long as the deal isn't agreed for this player between now and then, we will know whether or not we've got the En-Nesyri deal over the line, and that's going to be the same time that Arsenal are going to be looking to drop their price to actually make a bit of money and get him out of the club. So there we have it. I wouldn't have been expecting to say this a few weeks ago, but it actually looks as though we're having a pretty successful transfer window, dare I say it. 3 solid signings so far, positive talks for other key positions. It's actually going quite well. We still do have some time, and it looks like a lot is cooking. It's cooking at the moment. So can we get the business that we need done before deadline day? We will have to stay tuned to find out. That is all from me today. So make sure you're subscribed to the West Ham Network channel. Give it a like as well. Forgot to tell you that. Make sure you do that. Have a brilliant day. And until next time, come on, you Irons.